Hello YouTube, my name's Overline92 and at the moment we are going to go through a 10-minute video of The Crew, which is a new release that came out in December of this year. We're going to go through the ups and downs of the game, my first impressions of what I think it is. You can obviously like it or dislike it, it's up to you, but this is my personal opinion of what the game should be and whether or not it was worth me buying it. So we're going to go straight in and see what we can find out. Let's start off with the story. So who are you and where's your place in this world? We play a man called Alex, and he's basically a rebel guy who doesn't like to follow the rules. And he has a brother who is here, who's leaning in the car. But you don't get to spend much time together in this world, because this soon after happens after you try and help him out after he gives you a call early on in the game. Your brother gets shot after a bad meeting with one of the other members of the 510 group. And he basically makes a dirty agreement with the cops to set you up for his brother's murder.
What the hell are you doing, man? Help him! He's bleeding out! Got a gun. Well, that ain't mine.
This one's dead.
No!
The game then skips 5 years later, where you're still in prison serving your sentence, where this lovely lady comes in and offers you the way out.
You know these guys, right? Of course you do. One killed your brother, the other framed you for his murder. Here's the deal. I want this guy. Special Agent Coburn, he's dirty. All I need is proof. And you want this guy, Dennis Jefferson, aka Shiv, leader of the 510 Motor Club.
I'm in.
510 Motor Club is a very complex machine, and the only thing that really sums it up in essence is this video here. The game does a very good job at summing up what your place is in the world and what the story is. Basically, in short, what you have to do is catch these two guys that set you up 5 years ago and killed your brother. This young lady here is able to actually offer you a way out and offer help to actually get that.
FBI Special Agent Bill Coburn. We know he's fallen from grace. We just need the proof. And Dennis Jefferson, aka Shiv. Together they've transformed the 510s. Coburn provides introductions and protection from law enforcement, while Shiv does the wet work. The 510s denote rank with tattoos. Shiv's the king, the V8. Infiltrate the 510 Motor Club. Earn your ink and climb its hierarchy. You find the evidence I need to put Coburn away, and we'll take Shiv down with him. You'll need a pledge from a chapter head to get your first 510 tattoo. Make your rep on the local circuit, get on that ladder, and don't stop until you reach Shiv.
So what do you do in this game? What happens when you get out and you know the story and you know what you have to do? Well, the missions are pretty straightforward. It's like any other game playing single player. One mission unlocks another. You try and follow up the ladder as the previous video stated, or the cutscene stated, and you have to get your way up the ladder through other means of missions. One is one-to-one racing. Others include ramming other people off the road. It changes in terms of variety from chasing cops, running away from cops, ramming other cars off the roads, getting A to B within a certain time frame. There are also obviously normal races. They vary from road races to circuit races. But so far, with my first impressions of the game, there's not really much circuit racing, but I'm sure that will change as you make progress. Along the way, in between the missions, you do have side missions that you can do. So you do have co-op challenges that you can play with other people, which offer specific rewards and bonuses for being a co-op mission. And along top of that, you do have these small side missions such as slalom. You have to get from A to B, hit markers, take out certain targets. These basically make the game a bit more interesting when the main missions are a bit too hard. Maybe if you're stuck, you can still got things to do, which make the game a bit less boring and more diverse. All in all, it's a very good game in terms of what you can do, but sometimes I do get the feeling that the world's a bit too big and you have nothing really to do other than drive around.
Pass. In here. I think you're gonna like this place.
The car selection in The Crew is quite diverse in itself. Each time you go to a different area or unlock a different part of the USA, you get through to a different whole new type of car. Each car has its own styles, which are displayed down the left hand side, and that tells you which kind of style you can have it in. Each pack has its advantages and disadvantages, and therefore you have to choose wisely on when and where and what you're going to race in. Each car can be upgraded in many features. Most of the time you unlock these by doing missions and completing them. Depending on how well you do the mission will depend on how good the part is you unlock and win. Visualizing is a very good feature as well. You can customize each car individually and each can be unique in its own way. However, if you don't have the parts unlocked, you do have the option to actually go to a tuner shop and buy them right out for yourself. The interior has a nice feature here where you can actually customize it. Obviously buying parts from the tuner is a lot more expensive. Another good feature for the game is that you can unlock anytime, anywhere, a different part of your collection and access it from any garage at all. This allows good flexibility in that respect. And finally you have the perks. The perks are basically what you earn when doing missions, and how well you do them will depend on how easy it is to forget. And each time you unlock something, it increases the bonus. Each time you finish a mission, you'll gain XP, a part that you've won depending on how well you've done the mission, and on top of that you get a few bonuses, i.e. you get a perk and different parts. This will affect your vehicle and upgrade its performance in a different way. Each different mission will offer a unique part that you can win, each varying in how it actually affects your ride. If you've done the mission before, you have the option to convert it into money. Before actually starting a mission, you can see how the new parts and what you need to aim for and how it affects your ride. Want to see how your ride looks? They've got a demo mode when you're in the garage, so you can have a look and see and drive and actually feel how it might perform, and just for a bit of fun really, other than that. The downsides of the game that I found is mostly the fact that there's not many people online at the moment. But that's obviously not the game's fault, I'm sure it will pick up over time. But at the moment I found myself actually driving to people when I actually saw one. It was such a rare opportunity to actually find another player on the PC that when they did pop up on the map, which is the icon on the left hand screen at the moment, I actually found myself driving towards them just to actually find another person that's playing the game. The other downside that I found to the game is the crashing physics. I crashed into several cars but didn't seem to do much damage. This crash here was registered at 150 miles an hour and it didn't even take off the front bumper. Really, it should have actually destroyed the car entirely, but actually maybe forcing drivers to be a bit more careful about how they drive. The Crew is a very solid game on release, but it still needs a few things to work on at this moment in time. Mainly you have to follow the storyline as stated before, but after a while it does seem to get a bit boring and a bit bland. Hopefully the more the game actually goes on in terms of how long it's been released for, more people start to come online, and that will be when the game really comes alive, because you have the crews and the factions and you get to do a lot more co-op missions which you don't get to do at the moment. My first impressions are good therefore, but I'm just kind of hoping that the online does actually pick up, because that's what really makes this game unique. So I really hope Ubisoft the best of luck in terms of this. I hope they do bring out further updates and make it a bit more popular than what it already is. But for now, this is me signing out, and this is my review of the Crew at the moment. I'll leave you with a bit more gameplay, and leave a comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more gameplay videos of this type.